Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, you guys. Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, y'all, the rain has come and went, and it's left us with that yucky, sticky, icky humidity.
It is humid today.
It's so humid.
I had a feeling that this was going to happen, though, because, like I said, the storm pushed through earlier than what was expected, and I was like, okay, if it's pushing in earlier, I have a feeling it's going to leave a little bit earlier, too, so...
Today, originally, the weatherman was saying that it was going to be raining all day today until, like, the early afternoon.
Oh.
And we woke up this morning around, we slept in. I'd say we woke up around 8 o'clock, but it was already dry.
It was going to be raining.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sleeping in.
Yeah, me too. We were like, what's the point? If it's just going to be rainy and doom and gloom. And 8 o'clock isn't like that late, but it's late for us.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got up and we looked outside and there was just a few puddles everywhere. And we were like, well, this might change our plans a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
So today's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it because we did get something in the mail today. Or the other day.
Well, yesterday.
Yesterday or whatever.
No, day before yesterday, because it was waiting
Whatever
for
it
us when we
was.
came home from DD5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah. So anyway, exciting, right? Exciting. So drum roll. What is it?
We got our electric fence.
Woo, woo, woo,
No.
woo. I'm so excited, guys, because right now, as you guys know, the goats are out on a lead, which is working fantastically for them. Not hating on it, but we do have to go down to the goat area at least 4 to 5 times a day just to make sure that they're not tangled up, getting stuck anywhere.
Nope.
If we had a second lead, then we could hook them up on 2 separate wires, but we'd have to make it so that way they can't actually go near each other. Otherwise, they'd still tangle each other up.
Yep.
And we didn't want to buy another lead and deal with all that. So we did order the electric fence netting, which actually is a poultry netting that we're going to use for the goats. So, yeah, Gary's going to go to town today.
Yeah, we're going to go to town, and I'm going to go pick up the charge controller for the fence because it doesn't come with one. And everything that I've looked up online and triple checking and everything else with the box that I want, because everything that I know, which isn't a whole lot.
Oh, don't count yourself short.
I'm just saying, everything I do know, though, is that, you want enough oomph in there to really make sure that the animals stay in and the predators stay out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be, I had to do a couple of little things and research-wise, and the one I want is going to be able to work, but of course you have to piece that one together too. I'm finding that it's a little hard to find a kit and caboodle for these things.
Yeah.
Where it's all of it all in one, unless it's a really, really, really weak charge controller. And then it's okay, here you go. And it's
we don't want the weak.
Okay.
If there's one thing you guys haven't learned about Gary yet, it's that Gary's growing up male inspiration was Tim the Toolman Taylor from Home Improvement, the TV show Tim Allen.
Thank you, Tim Allen. I really appreciate it.
Hey, and I don't knock on it either, because you know what? When I was younger, looking up, watching, just TV shows, right?
Yeah.
You have people in real life that inspire you, but as far as media that we can all relate to, I remember when I was younger watching that growing up and always thinking man, he must be an awesome dad. So you're a great dad. You're a great husband. You're a great dad. Mr. Fix-It. I always admired Mr. Fix-It. I always admired capable men. Manly men.
The whole, I can fix it, but let's make it better. Let's make it faster.
Give it the power. More power. And that's, that's how you are.
Yep.
And I love that quality about you. I really do. I know you get a lot of slack from me, from the audience, from everything, right? But don't take it to heart. I really do admire that quality about you. You want the best of the best. You want to make sure that it's going to be done and it's going to be done right. And that you're not going to have to go back and mess with it 500 times, because ain't nobody got time for that. I hear you, baby. And I appreciate you.
There was a good analogy on our last live or whatever. Somebody said it. I can't remember it 100%. All right. But they were it's building a hot rod. You buy this engine and all this other stuff, and then you go to soup it up. You're not going to put on this cheap part to soup up this car that
Yeah.
you just spent all this money for and all this time into, to have to go back and fix that one thing that you paid for.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, it is what it is. It's a guy thing, I guess.
It's a
guy
quality
analogy.
that I admire. It's a quality that I admire because I know that with Gary, I'm gonna get the best of him. I'm gonna get the best. And I really appreciate it. And I know that you do it out of love. So I appreciate you, babe.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I have to give a shout out to Moses and Polly. You know.
Yeah. High Desert Homestead.
High Desert Homestead. He was our first introduction to electric fence.
And let me just say too, High Desert Homestead, Moses and Polly, we haven't really talked to them too much this last year or so because we're out here and we're so busy, but the love is still there.
Yeah.
But they were one of our very first families that we met through our YouTube journey. You know, like when we first started in Arizona, we were like trying to build a community out there with like Arizona homesteaders, kind of have the same type of community that we have out here with helping each other out and all this stuff. We wanted to do it in Arizona. And then our lives went kind of separate ways because we decided we were going to move.
Yep.
But Moses and Polly, they invited us to our first collaboration, Homesteaders Helping Homesteaders fence building party, where we donated our time and we actually set up an electric fence. It was the timeless fence.
Yep. And I really, really like that system. Mm-hmm. Eventually, we will be buying a timeless fence because...
For like the big perimeter. And when we go around to buy it, we will be buying it through Moses and Polly.
And I'm hoping I can bring them on out here.
Yeah, I would love to get them out here.
That would be awesome.
Guys, I want to take a second because we're thinking about them. Go over to High Desert Homestead and let them know that SLR still loves them and that we're sharing the love over to them. I'll put a icon card over by Gary's head over there somewhere. Click that, go over to their channel and just leave a little comment that says, Mel and Gary still loves you.
Yep.
They might appreciate that. They'll probably be like, oh, they were talking about us today.
Give them a subscribe. Watch them. See what they're up to.
They've got a desert homestead.
Nope. They've got a lot of stuff going on there. You know, a lot of stuff going on. He's got horses and I think he's still got sheep going on and pigs. He's got a lot of animals out there.
Yeah.
And he's doing it all out there in Arizona. And it's not an easy task doing it in the desert.
100% off grid too, guys.
Yes.
Like they're roughing it. And I think
true inspiration.
Very much so. Very much so. They are, I can't say enough positive things about them. They were, like I said, one of our very first friends that we met through YouTube in person, you know, and they've been a true blessing on our life. Although, like I said, this last year we've been really busy and they've been really busy too. But I know that our friendship is true. It's one of those friendships where if we pick up the phone and we talk to each other, it's going to be like there wasn't a beat skipped.
Correct.
Just because that's how it was.
Correct.
So, yeah.
No.
But anyhow, we went squirrel on
but anyway,
that. But we just want to share some love.
Well,
man.
I wanted to bring that up
some love,
because they were our first introduction to electric fence, and he was the one that introduced me to the 2-jewel aspect, where if you wanted to keep a bull out or a cow out or something like that, you could really give them a good zap and have them charge the other way and stay off that property for good. And yeah, that was a big thing in Arizona with the free range cattle and everything else like that.
Yep.
And no joke, waking up in your house and they're right there in your front window on your property, everything else, and it's
trampling all over
your flowers, everything else, and it's perfectly legal for them to do that.
Because they have different laws about grazing rights and stuff like that in Arizona. But
so
that's neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there, but you want to be able to protect your property from them, you know. So
and out here we don't have to worry about cows grazing wildly. We got to worry about the bears. We got to worry about the mountain lions and the coyotes and the wolves and the panthers and all that kind of
things
stuff.
That are growing and normally roam naturally anyway.
And I will say too, we do have to worry about the wild dogs.
The wild dogs.
Like the neighbors and stuff out here. We have one really awesome neighbor that we know his animals and stuff, and they never come over here too much. No. But there are a few other of our neighbors, which the animals that have come over, they were just like beagles. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. But a lot of people in this area, they don't fence their property and they let their dogs just kind of roam. As you guys know, Gary and I don't necessarily agree with that.
No.
It's not we're not poo-pooing on anyone, but for us and for our animals, we like to make sure that they are secured where they're supposed to be, so that way they don't hurt anyone's property and they don't get hurt.
Correct.
So that's the main thing for us.
Well, that's our responsibilities as the owners of the animals.
Yeah.
No matter what. We lived in Arizona, and we like we were just saying, the free range cattle is a little different. Animals in the sense out here, that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
If my dog goes and runs down the street and somebody hits my dog, guess what? I'm liable for the vehicle damage because my dog's not allowed to be on the road legally.
Yeah. Meanwhile, if they run it over and kill it, there's nothing. It's my fault. It's my fault, and now I'm liable to fix their car, and I have a dead dog.
Correct. So
we don't want that.
Mitigate any headache or anything else like that, we encourage making sure that your animals are always, secure, and you have an idea and know exactly what your animals are doing at all times and every time.
Yeah.
Because that's your responsibility as the ownership of the animal.
Yeah.
So
now, like Gary and I have mentioned, we do plan to do like the entire perimeter of this property with the timeless fence, which is an electrified fence. And at that point, the dogs won't be just here on the top tier. They will be roaming everywhere, securing the rabbits and just the entire property, watching everything, being guard dogs, like they're meant to be. But for right now, a little T-post and a little wire, it gets the job done. Yep. But we do have plans in the future to have it fully fenced off and the dogs to be roaming.
Correct. So that makes it nice, man. I'm really happy that we are able to throw some feed out. They got big old waters out there. All of our animals are set up on a way to where we can live a simple life of, I want to go camping.
Yeah.
And we can.
Yeah. And we don't have to have somebody necessarily like babysit our property and make sure that everything's good on the daily. The garden's on a watering system. All the animals are on automatic watering systems, minus the goats, which we have the system. We just have to set that up.
We have to install it. But
yeah, we're almost there. We're inching there closer day by day, friends. We're getting
That's the next animal to get to be that way. And it's like we said, we have to go down there right now every 4 times a day and make sure that they're untangled, make sure that they're good, make sure that they didn't knock over their water, make sure, all of these little things, and it's going to make it nice once we get that electric fence in there, and then we can set up the automatic waterers, and they'll have their big old bales of hay, and they'll have their water, and they'll have a perfect safe area for them.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's a lot more easy on us to do our normal tasks, and we don't have to go down there every 4 or 5 times a day.
Yeah, I'm so happy we did all that infrastructure last year. Seriously, yes. I am so happy that we took the time last summer and we did all the infrastructure stuff that we needed, so that way this summer we can stay focused on the old cabin build.
Correct.
Which today, friends, we were expecting there, like we said earlier, to be a bunch of rain. So we weren't really planning on, doing any building up there. We were going to have Gary go to the store, do the running around that he needs. I'm going to do some stuff inside the house with the kiddos, and also some tomato canning and other stuff that we need. But I think if all goes well, tomorrow there's not supposed to be any rain, and we were soft scheduling for us to get back on the deck working tomorrow. So we will see what tomorrow brings, but right now, tentatively, that's what we're planning.
Yep.
And then we might work through like tomorrow and Saturday and then get the freaking green zip board up there once and for all, because coming on like Sunday through the whole week next week, it's rain. It's all that stuff. So we might just have to keep it going tomorrow and Saturday, be done with that, and then, see what we could do going forward from there. But
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
But everything in life for us, friends, is always a plan, but it is not a set plan. We do have kids, we have animals, we have life. There's always variables. So right now, that's what we're thinking is going to happen. But as usual, do not hold our toes to the fire on it, just because.
We are trying our best to keep things in line and to keep it going. And like I said, ideally, we try to make it to where we can do a lot of our stuff during the week, and then have the weekends to do like our outside stuff and everything else, and trying to mitigate the time that we are doing during the week outside, doing all of our animal chores and everything else. Because in reality, you only really want to be spending about 30 minutes doing the animal chores at most per day. If you're having to spend more than that, then it's like, dang, you know, that's a lot to have to do. So, and right now we are spending more time than that. And that's mainly because of the way that the goats are.
And having to go back and forth.
Correct.
So
correct. So that's, once we get that down, then it's like, okay, now our animal chores are under 30 minutes again. And we're back to a point where we can go in the morning, enjoy our cup of coffee, do a real talk, and then get back to work.
Yeah.
You know,
and so today, when Gary gets back from the store with that whole electrifying system, I'm sure later on in the evening when it gets a little cooled down, we're probably going to want to come out and set that electrical fence up. But again, it all just depends on how things go. We're going to have to move that horse trailer. We haven't moved that horse trailer in like a year and a half, and it was a beast just to get it there. So
it's not going to be a nightmare to get it out of there.
I have a feeling like it is, but I'm usually wrong about these things.
It was a nightmare to get it down there, mainly because of the way I had to get it there.
Oh.
Like, remember how I tried to back it up and I couldn't get it to back up? And then I had to come all the way around this way and drive on the garden tier to come around.
Yeah.
And then the trailer was like this coming around that hill. And I was like, I'm just going to punch it and hope it doesn't tip. It was getting it to that spot. That was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'll plow through whatever I need to plow through. I ain't worried about that.
Yeah. Well, when Gary...
Piggy's a beast.
When Gary gets home, we'll wait till it cools off and it gets to like that evening time. And then we'll probably move the horse trailer to a spot where it's going to be maybe by Smalls. Something like that. I don't know. We're going to have to move it, find a spot on the property. We could also put it underneath the power lines and have it chill over there.
We could.
I don't know. We'll figure that out.
I think I have an idea of where I want it.
Yeah, I don't want to make any suggestions because Gary already has it played out in his brain on what he wants.
We'll see how it is.
So, yeah, I'm sure he'll figure that out. But we'll move that, and then this evening we'll go out and do the electrical fencing and get that all set up so that way tomorrow we can get back to work on the old deck build.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and speaking of the deck, where we left it off is still where we're at. So the last video that you guys saw where we had just the one eave set up on that side, but the other one was built, that's where we're at. So we're going to have to try to hoist that one up on this side. Hopefully it'll fit, everything will be okay, and it can be, you know, peanut butter jelly time, everything goes smooth. I'm
hoping that we can get onto that tomorrow.
Yeah.
To be quite honest. And hopefully on Saturday we can start green roofing or putting the zip board down. I'm hoping too, man. I'm hoping. It just really depends on what happens with this weather, because we do have another storm blowing in that's supposed to hit us on Sunday.
Right. And is it going to come a little early on Saturday?
Exactly. That's where.
Is it like?
And like I said, we normally try not to work on the weekends, but at the same time, right now, with the weather being the way it is, it's like we're just playing with the weather and going for it, and any day that we can.
Yeah. So, and we might end up, like I said, all next week have to kind of
hold off because of the rain, and it just depends on what's going to happen, what's going to go where, how it's going to go.
So we're going to get the getting when the getting's good is basically what we're going to do.
That's what we're getting at.
And also, as if we weren't busy enough, right in the midst of all of this, we are on baby watch for Mama. We have the nesting box in there. She hasn't started pulling hair yet, but I believe her due date actually is Saturday. I had it marked on our calendar for me to put the nesting box in on Wednesday, which we did. She's all good to go. But I think I marked it that way so that way the box would be in there like 3 days before she was supposed to give birth. So we'll see.
I'm pretty positive that's that, but it was also that we didn't know exactly when.
Yeah.
Did he go in there?
When?
Was it that day? Was it the night before?
Yeah.
Was he hopping in and out of there the night before that?
Yeah, because if you guys remember, this was a not planned breeding. We had Mama and we had Shrek Buster, like cages next to each other. And there was the tiniest little gap up on the very tippy top. And Gary and I didn't even think anything about it because there was nothing for him to hop onto to climb up there.
He never did it before.
And life found a way this time. Life found a way.
It's been like that for a long, long time, and he's never done it before.
Yeah.
And now he's like, nope.
We went down there one morning, and he was in her pen. So we just assumed, you know what? He probably went in there and mated her. And yeah, so we marked our calendar. Her fur is getting a little loose. It is not fully loose, but Gary has felt underneath her and like, you know, checked and stuff. And he's like, yeah, she's going to have some kids.
She's definitely pregnant. The teats are big and her stomach is big. Full.
Yeah.
So she's definitely going to be pulling some fur tonight, if not tomorrow.
Yeah.
And getting that thing ready. So
I'm really hoping that Mama does a good time this time around. The first 2 litters that she had and none made it. Honestly, we're just going to chop that first one up to her being a brand new mom because she delivered them not even in the box at all, just on the grate. And it was during the winter, so they froze and they didn't make it. It's our fault, but it's also Mama's fault. I mean, I don't know what else we could have done, but we have to take claim and ownership of the fault because it's our animal.
It's our animal. That's the ownership of animals.
It's the ownership of animals. And then the second time she had them, she did have them and she had them inside the box, but she didn't sit on the nest. So, and it was also during winter time. She didn't keep them warm enough and they also froze.
Yep.
So that sucked. The third litter, which we actually have 2 of those babies that still made it. The other 4, she decided to cull.
Yep.
I'm not exactly sure why she decided to do that. We think that it was because of a really aggressive breeding, but we don't really have any idea. She only kept 2 of them alive, which are the 2 males that we have down there. So this will be her 4th breeding. And
which that's where it threw off a lot of our
plans.
Our plans, but like what happened with the last litter, it threw off all of our like thought of, okay, maybe this, maybe that, you know. She kept the boys.
Yeah, she kept the boys. And I was thinking she was culling them because they were boys
or something like that.
Yeah,
and
no,
all that.
She kept 2 of them. I don't know what was going on. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this next litter. I'm really hoping that she does a great job with them and mamas them and like knows what to do this time, because if not, she might have to go the way of the farm, and it sucks. We don't like it. No. But if she's not going to be a good breeder for us, then
there's no reason to keep her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the unfortunate part. You know, it's the same thing with your chickens. You know, we have our egg layers down there in our main coop, but after about 5 years, they don't really lay no more. They're done.
Yeah.
You know, so you're feeding a bird to keep a bird.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, man, you know, it's really rough in certain aspects.
It is, and I know some people don't like that, but it is the way of the farm, and I'm sorry, you guys, but that's what we're breeding and having these animals for, you know. But we won't go too far into that, but let's just hope and pray that she does really well with the delivery this time.
Nope.
And everything goes well. We do have them separated. I moved her from the pen directly next door to Shrek Buster to now she's back across. And essentially we have 1 line of males, and then we have Nora, our black rabbit, and then Mama right next to each other. And so we have a line of boys, and then we got our 2 females.
Yep.
So I'm hoping that this time around she does really well. She delivers them all safely. She doesn't cull them. You know, everything's good. That's what we're hoping for. Everything to be good. But
it's going to be it's time to tell the tale, right?
Yeah, we'll find out. We will probably know Sunday or Monday. Saturday, Sunday, or Monday. We'll probably know Sunday or Monday.
We're probably going to know Sunday. It's probably going to happen either early in the morning or really right when the storm hits.
That's usually how rabbits do it too. Like a storm. Oh, let's
all animals do it at that point. At that time, I was like, oh, it's raining. It's snowing.
Yeah.
It's hailing. Yeah. There's a tornado. Okay.
Let's have the babies now.
And a lot of it, I mean, like, so studies been shown that they actually do that mainly to protect, the mother does it to protect themselves.
Yeah.
They get it out now, so that way they can get nutrients to bear the storm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Nature's wild, man. Nature's wild.
Nature's crazy.
Yeah.
The biggest question of all: nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I'll let you guys guess on that one. It's kind of like the whole what came first, the chicken or the egg. Y'all can dispute that amongst yourselves.
That one is a tough one. I'm not going to lie. It is such a tough one with that one. It really is.
You know what I say? I say the chicken.
I say the chicken too.
You want to know why I say the chicken? Maybe it's the same. I say it's the chicken because what came first with humans? A man, like a grown man, not a baby, but a grown man, Adam. And Eve was a grown woman.
Oh.
And so since they were already grown, I just assume that all of the other animals were also already grown when they were created. That's my theory. But you guys are welcome to dispute it in the comments section. No right or wrong answers because nobody could prove it anyways. It's all an opinion here.
That's a very good question. And then the argument of an egg, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could have formed in the dirt, just like all crystals and everything else, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, here comes an egg. And boom, you got an egg. Think of dinosaurs, right? Like they're eggs, but then you think of birds and they came from dinosaurs as well. So now it becomes this long line of where did it come from? I think the egg came first.
You just said chicken.
I know, but now I'm changing
my
mind because I thought about it more theoretically.
Team Mel or Team Gary? Drop it down in the comment section. The egg or the chicken? I'm voting for chicken.
I'm voting egg.
All right, let's see it in the comment section, friends. Let's make this entertaining. But we are gonna wrap this one up. I gotta go in there and check on those kiddos. I gotta release you.
Yep.
That way you can go and start your day, and we can mix and mingle back together and keep this thing rolling. But we wanted to pop in and say thank you guys so much for joining our live last night. It was a lot of fun. I should have a new video out for you guys, hopefully later on today. If I can't get it out today for one thing or another, then I will have it out for you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. It's a real good one. And we'll be back here on Real Talk with SLR tomorrow as well. So we love you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. And until the next one, friends, we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.